Interesting game in downtown San Diego last night. Football in the baseball stadium, and I think everybody had a good time.
Yeah, the Holiday Bowl is one of those games that usually is one of the best of the non-New Year's Day bowls, and it lived up to its reputation.
USC debuts a rock star quarterback. This was really impressive. His name is Miller Moss. He sat there for 2 years, hardly played at all because of all the defections. Caleb Williams' decision to step aside and not play while he gets ready to file for the NFL draft. Miller Moss comes out like a mad bomber. And he threw deep, and he threw deep, and he threw deep, and he threw 6 touchdown passes. He threw for 372 yards, his first start ever in college football, and the whole nation watched it. And I thought to myself, because I thought this was going to be a dreary Holiday Bowl, and this was like Holiday Bowls of yesteryear.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, the great bowls that we've seen that has really become the rubber stamp of what college football, Holiday Bowl, San Diego is all about. Miller Moss. Lincoln Riley, it's been 6 weeks since the lousy end of the season where they dropped 5 of their last 6. 6 weeks since they got run off the field by UCLA. 6 weeks since their own people, the Coliseum, booed them coming off the field. Lincoln Riley just kind of reinvented his football team in the wake of all these defections. I mean, I was very impressed with what they did. There was sizzle. There were big strike plays. They were unbelievably aggressive offensively. Now, I thought it was weird. Caleb Williams, the star quarterback, who did a great job for a year and a half after transferring from Oklahoma before things fell apart on him, Caleb Williams stood on the sidelines with his jersey wrapped around his neck, cheering on Miller Moss. I don't know. Should he have played? He kind of, to me, it's like you bailed out on your teammate. I understand you're going to go to the NFL probably. Maybe you're protecting yourself that you don't get hurt in your final game. And it is the final game in the Pac-12 conference, as we know, for USC. There was just a lot of emotion in the stands. I wonder if USC football will really ever be the same now that they change address and they go to the Big Ten conference. But I watched Miller Moss just play bombs away, and he was accurate, and his guys were running away from Louisville secondary. I mean, it was a tremendous explosion of a game. And in Holiday Bowl history, because they sat back and think, okay, let's press the memory button. Holiday Bowl. Most of it was about BYU in the early years. Mm-hmm. And that was Jim McMahon, and that was Steve Young, and that was Robbie Bosco, that was Ty Detmer. And then other great ones. Heisman Trophy winner Barry Sanders came here with Oklahoma State and was dazzling. Blair Thomas, Penn State, came here. Unbelievably impressive with Joe Paterno. There have been so many great bowl games here. And I thought this thing was going to get sidetracked because USC had 20 players not there, which was amazing. They had so many guys in the transfer portal, and a whole bunch have already declared to go to the NFL. And then Lincoln Riley just kind of reinvents himself in the 6 weeks between the lousy loss to UCLA and the kickoff against Louisville in the Holiday Bowl. So I was impressed. It's going to be fascinating because now suddenly Miller Moss has put himself right at the front of the line of whomever the head coach is going to recruit or bring in the transfer portal. This guy's got to be your starting quarterback, at least going to spring football. 6 touchdowns, first time out of the chute. I thought it was a fascinating game, and for the fans, they had a good time.
It was very entertaining, I mean, we're talking about a lot of these other bowl games and the stands are kind of quiet, not much going on. This was a great game and good on Miller Moss. And did you see the post game when he won the offensive MVP? Mm-hmm. I mean, dude was composed, poised. It looked like he was expecting to be the MVP. And then at the end of the game, they dumped eggnog on Lincoln Riley. I don't know if you saw that. That was fantastic. But it was just a great game all around. And, it's a celebration for San Diego. Steve Fisher was the what do they call him? The main guy.
Grand Marshal.
The Grand Marshal on the parade. Yeah. So, it's a cool thing for San Diego to have this event. And I'm glad they're doing it at Petco. It's special.
Yeah, it's got a real unique environment, a unique flavor to it, which I think is kind of cool. And that kid looked like Darryl LaMonica bombs away. And he was accurate. He threw with great strength down the field, hit his guys running in stride. I was so impressed. So if you're a USC fan, how cool was what we saw with Miller Moss? If you're a USC fan, jump into the chat box for Fans Forum. Will Trojan football feel the same going forward to a new mailing address in the Big Ten Conference. So we got that. Now,